Some battles are fought in silence, where no one sees the effort and no one hears the pain. This is the story of a quiet young boy who turned his struggles into unshakable strength.
He was a quiet boy, not weak, not broken, just quiet. The kind of boy who smiled when others were watching and carried storms inside when no one was. Every morning, he woke up with thoughts heavier than his backpack, dreams that felt too big, fears that felt too real. People thought he had an easy life. They didn't see the nights he stared at the ceiling, asking himself questions with no answers. Why do I feel like this? Why do I try so hard and still feel empty? He didn't talk much, not because he had nothing to say, no, but because he didn't think anyone would understand. So he stayed silent. At school, he listened more than he spoke. At home, he helped more than he asked. In life, he endured more than he showed. There were days he felt like giving up, days when even getting out of bed felt like a battle. But here's what most people didn't know. Inside that quiet boy was a strength growing silently. One day, after a long, exhausting moment, he sat alone, tired, defeated. And then he realized something. No one was coming to save him. And strangely, that truth didn't break him. It awakened him. He understood that pain was not his enemy. It was his teacher. Every tear had taught him empathy. Every failure had taught him patience. Every lonely moment had taught him self-respect. He stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and started asking, "What is this teaching me?" Slowly, quietly, he began to change. He learned to sit with his emotions instead of running from them. He learned that being sensitive was not weakness. He learned that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes, strength whispers, "Keep going." He didn't become loud. He didn't become arrogant. He didn't become cold. He became calm, calm enough to stand alone, calm enough to believe in himself, calm enough to keep moving forward, even when the road was dark. And one day, without announcing it, without proving it to anyone, the quiet boy became strong, not because life became easy, but because he did. If you're listening to this right now, and you feel unseen, unheard, misunderstood, remember this. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need approval to be worthy. You don't need to rush your growth. Your silence is not weakness. Your struggle is not failure. You are becoming. And one day, they won't remember how quiet you were. They'll remember how strong you became.